All the years in my entire career being a photographer and a filmmaker, I've been exposed to these type of lenses. There's a still lens, all right? There's the Canon EF 24 to 105mm f4, and this lens works perfectly well, all right? You can shoot pictures, of course, that's what it's designed for, as well as video if your camera gives you that feature. I've used different types of lenses. I actually have the EF 50mm 1.8 STM lens over here, and this is one of the lenses that I actually used for the most part of my initial years doing filmmaking. All right, this is actually one of the cheapest and most efficient lenses that you can get if you're starting out and you want to upgrade, even in photography. So when I got this lens, it gave me the flexibility of separating my subject from my background, blurring the background, and allowing more light even in low light situations. So this lens was actually definitely an upgrade until I got exposed to other lenses when I could make enough to purchase other lenses. So I got myself the Sigma Art 85 1.4. That was my biggest buy when it comes to lenses. In fact, during that time, I think that was my biggest buy yet when it comes to an equipment for my camera. It was around 6,000 Ghana cedis. I think the first time that I saw it, it was on a photographer that I was following for the most part. He shot wedding photography, started with portraiture, and he had this huge lens, and I had no idea about it because I hadn't actually introduced myself to self-learning, all right? So I went ahead and asked him just like any beginner photographer would do. And when I asked him, he told me about the lens, Sigma 85 1.4. And I was kind of skeptical about the lens because of the size, but trust me, the lens was so good. And even though I wouldn't use it normally for video, but when I had my camera planted on my tripod and I had the lens fixed on it, because I could open as wide as 1.4, I would still use it to shoot video when it comes to, let's say, talking head type shots like that. So when I got introduced to shooting music videos, I felt that I needed a wide angle lens, because wide angle lenses, I had actually become literate in lenses that I knew that if my camera doesn't even have stabilization in it, I can have my wide angle focal length helping me out there and, you know, giving me minute or even unrecognizable shakes there. So I could still stabilize some shots and shoot handheld with the wide angle lenses. So I got myself the 18 to 35 1.8, and that was actually when I had gotten myself the BMPCC 4K, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, some years after using the GH5. And I didn't actually have this lens, the 18 to 35mm 1.8 for the Lumix, so I didn't have that experience. But when I got my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, because the Micro Four Thirds just like the GH5, I could still use the lens that it came with my G7 Lumix, and it could fix on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So for quite some time I was using that until I got myself the Viltrox Speed Booster. Then I knew that I was at that point where I needed to give myself the 18 to 35mm, because anytime I watch YouTube videos on Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, mostly the pair of the lens that comes with it is definitely having the 18 to 35 Sigma Art. So when I got it, it was actually never leaving my camera. I always used it, shooting music videos, shooting my own B-rolls, and you know, a lot of things. The 18 to 35 with the Speed Booster gave me the flexibility of zooming in and getting much more reach, as well as width, and even for the most part getting much more light getting into the camera, because the Speed Booster could boost the speed of the already fast lens, which is the aperture of 1.8, and it made it 1.2. So I was having so much fun with the Micro Four Thirds image sensor. Then I fell in love with filmmaking for real, shooting movies actually. So just like I would do with anything that I am interested in, I will go research, and I realized that there were some different type of lenses that these cinematographers were using. So I researched into it, and I noticed that these lenses right in front of me here, these are the type of lenses that normally cinematographers will use for high budget films. And what I have for myself are not very expensive. These are, you know, the entry-level Cine Lenses, and of course it's by some third-party companies like Samyang, and I have one coming from Rokinon, And these lenses, I haven't tried them out yet. I got them not long ago, and I'm sure that I'm going to have so much fun. There are major differences that you're definitely going to notice on the Cine lenses if you compare it to the still lenses. And the biggest feature that you definitely notice if you are the type that normally reads lenses before you use them or before even you purchase them is that you're going to notice that instead of the f-stops that you see on the still lenses, you're going to find t-stops rather. And they are quite different in how they are read, and as well as even the markings on the lenses, you notice a significant difference. You're also going to notice that when you mount a Cine lens on your camera, you are not going to have the lens communicating directly to the camera, but instead you're going to manually control everything that there is on the lens when it comes to exposure and of course focus. All right, okay, so let's set these away, the still lens and the camera over here. And let's talk about the Cine lenses alone. Okay, so even though I haven't tested these lenses on my camera yet, I'll be doing that very soon, and you'll be seeing footages in the subsequent videos I'll be creating with these lenses. What I really love about this lens or these lenses is that the dials over here to change the aperture or to set the aperture, and also the focusing ring, these rings are so smooth. They are significantly smooth, and even though there are some hard stops, you don't really feel so much resistance. And even though there's a bit of, resistance in there, it is very much at ease. It's very smooth. And the sprocket that you find on the focusing ring as well as the aperture ring are very definite and very hard, okay? And that's because if you have an AC pulling focus for you, you're going to mount a device to attach to the sprocket, and it needs to be very much, having a grip there. So there's a Rokinon T1.5 35mm, and I have Samyang also over here 85mm 1.5, that's T1.5 as well. And also I have the Samyang 24mm T1.5. So the T1.5 is equivalent, in my knowledge, reading about the T-stop and the f-stop, comparing them, as close to 1.4, or should I say 1.8. okay, so anywhere over there is just fine. And if I were to be using the T1.5 on my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera with the speed booster, I'll definitely have somewhere around T1.2. all right, and that's going to make it even faster. Okay, so having all these focal ranges, 35mm, 85 and 24, ensures that I have coverage over almost every focal length that you normally need on set if you're shooting a project. Okay, one significant difference if that's your first time seeing a Cine lens is that you're going to notice a lot of markings that are not very familiar. With the focusing ring over here, you notice the feet and all the markings over there that determines or helps you know how to pull focus and how much to pull it. You're going to notice as well a lot of other markings over here on the aperture ring, telling you the T-stops that you can set it to. All right, so this lens, as I said before in the beginning stages of introducing these lenses, is that it doesn't have any connection or communication with the camera. So if you mount any Cine lens, or for instance this lens, on your camera, you're not going to find any settings there or any digits. You're going to find 00 at the f stop settings, and that's because this doesn't necessarily communicate with the camera once more. So you're going to have to be doing all this yourself manually, and with the help of your LCD screen, you are going to be able to determine if your focus is right or not. Okay, so I'm going to really definitely have so much fun with these lenses. This is my first time trying them out. I haven't tried them out yet, but I'll be going out, and the subsequent videos you're going to see is going to be with these lenses. And I'm fortunate to also have the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. Because I'm a Blackmagic user already, I am quite familiar with the B-roll log profile, and I'm sure that this is going to even give me more width, because I'm going to be able to go beyond what I normally do with my still lens on my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I can now shoot 6K with Cine lenses as well. So it's going to be a whole new experience, and I would love to share it with you throughout the journey. And I'll be giving you also behind the scenes anytime I go out to shoot with these lenses with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be fun. So this is just a highlight on these lenses that I'll be using very soon, and I'm sure that every experience I'm going to have with these lenses is going to be worth it. So thank you very much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on the post notification button so that you'll be the first to see the videos I'll be uploading that had to do with these lenses when I use them on the 6K Pro. Until the next video, I'm going to catch you later. Have a wonderful day. See ya.